Well, welcome into our next Division I game of this tournament between Central Park Christian School out of Birmingham, Alabama, and Wesley Christian School out of Allen, Kentucky. Wesley Christian with one of the best nicknames I've seen in a while. The Circuit Riders. I don't know if I've ever seen that as a mascot, but that's kind of a cool one. So Wesley Christian will be in the dark blue uniforms going left to right, and Central Park in those white uniforms going right to left. As Wesley Christian comes into this game at 25-8 on the year. They're the 2017 FCA National Champions. Not only that, a team GPA of 3.6. Good grief. Not only play basketball, but extremely intelligent as well.
A lot of times that translates to the court, John.
That's true. In the post it goes for Central Park right off the bat here. And the left-handed turnaround shot by Dembele is off the mark. So it will be Wesley Christian basketball.
Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, spending their Wednesday afternoon with us here today at the beautiful Fort Bluff campus, the home of the NACA in Dayton, Tennessee. It's right up on beautiful Dayton Mountain.
Good pass off the right side, and the layup is good by Sekou Dembele. And it is a 2-0 lead for Central Park.
And if you've never been up here, Fort Bluff Camp came by their name, honestly. Beautiful bluff, beautiful overlook into the valley.
There's a nice little 10-footer. Gabriel Moore, the 7-footer with the bucket there. Tied up at 2.
So with Division I, we're jumping right into the action today. No pool play. The tournament has begun, and that's a big-time 3.
So the triple by Dimitri Rooney, and it's a 5-2 lead for Central Park, down to 6:30 to go in the first. Down the lane, and the layup good by Kevin Watts. Boy, these two teams, you want to talk about some height to go around. Good grief. 5-4 the lead now for Central Park, down to 6:10 to go in the first. Out front, Smith with it. Jalen trying to work left side, little stutter step, good pass underneath. Layup missed there by Rooney. And Talbot back the other way, left and underneath. Dunk attempt misses by Gabriel Moore.
Seeing some energy out of these two teams.
Out front it comes now for Smith. Tried to spin free, pulls up from 16 feet. That's no good, but a whistle and a foul on Kevin Watts. That'll be his first and team first. To the free throw line for Central Park goes Jalen Smith. If you look at Central Park, their bigger players are 6'6", 6'2", 6'8", 6'2", 6'2", 6'7", 6'7", 7 foot. As this free throw is good.
Yeah,
lest you think that's big, though, just take a look at the Wesley Christian roster, which is 6'10", 7 feet, 6'2", 6'2", 6'2", and there's a dunk off a steal. And flushing that with two hands is Jaden Stone. Gets the steal and the bucket, and it's 9-4 the lead now for Central Park. But for Wesley Christian, they go 6'2", 6'2", 6'2", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'5", 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet, 7 feet.
Wow. You know, I'm standing up here 5'10", and we're standing this mezzanine. I want to see if I can get a little bit of a. You can kind of see there's our play-by-play specialist, John Chappell.
Yeah, and I'm taking a drink. It should do that, of course.
I see that's Coke Free, Coke Zero, or that's Very good. Okay.
Which, by the way, if you're in broadcasting school, you never drink anything carbonated while you're on the air. It's a really bad idea. But I needed some caffeine today, so I do have some water up here, so don't judge me.
So Coke Zero is not completely zero. It does have some caffeine, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But good grief. Basically 3 7-footers on this roster. 3 ball on the wing is good. Triple by Brandon Talbot. And it's a 9-7 advantage there for Central Park.
Great ball movement to get that great look.
Smith trying to go right side. Off on the wing for Stone. Now back to Smith out front. Trying to work near side. 3 ball, no good from Reunion. Now underneath that up, good, and the foul. So the bucket for Sekou Dembele.
So I make a comment in pregame warm-up. These guys are, I actually said they're not that big, and I didn't look at the roster, and that just showed. Once again, it's a reminder how deceptive it is looking over this little mezzanine balcony.
Now I agree with you in the fact that they're not big as far as being built, but they definitely have height.
I always get
tall and thin.
Yeah, I always get a good dose of reality when I go down to the court beside those players.
3 ball on the wing wouldn't go for Talbot, and back the other way comes Central Park. That pass is deflected out of bounds, and it will be Wesley Christian basketball. From this angle, it doesn't look all that overbearing, but for sure when you walk down there.
Big number 33 for Allen. How tall is that young man?
33 is 7 feet tall.
Yeah, so that is very deceptive.
And he has a large wingspan, too. Off the steal, good pass ahead, and that runner won't go, but tip dumping in underneath by Jonathan Baruti. That's actually really nice and under control from Jonathan. 14-7, now full court pressure again. Pushing it up here is Ramaj, and he turns that over. 3 ball out front, that won't go for Stone. Outlet feed, ahead now. Comes on the wing for Ramaj, baseline runner, that's no good by Talbot. And finally cleared out underneath. And Central Park will bring it up. 3:35 to go in the first. They lead at 14-7. And we got a whistle and a foul on the inside. To the free throw line for Central Park goes Jaden Stone.
So are you telling me Wesley has 2 7-footers on the court with number 2 and 33? How tall is number 2?
Close to that, 2 6'10".
Okay.
They have somebody at 6'10", somebody at 6'11", and 2 7-footers on the team. That's a lot of height. (15-7). Now it's Wesley Christian on the run, and we got a whistle and a traveling violation on Gabriel War. Fadeaway won't work there by Dembele. The other way, and that shot erased out of bounds by Dembele. In the corner it goes. 3 ball there is good.
If you're under 6'5", you better have your creative juices flowing when you take it to the hoop down there. You are going to get rejected.
Well, I believe that is Cameron Ramage. I don't know who number 3 is then, as Wesley Christian has changed up some of their numbers here. I believe.
So he's going to hit the 3 and get the foul. All right, we've got our replays working fairly well. We're about to have some fun here. We've got a good game for you guys. I want to thank you once again for tuning in.
Well, Stone hit the 3 and got fouled, and Central Park ends up getting the rebound back, and the jumper along the baseline rattles around and in for Dimitri Rooney, and it's 20-10. 2:25 to go in the first, and another turnover. Smith in the front court, and a whistle and a pushing foul. So Cameron Ramage with his first foul and team 5th.
Now we're really starting to see what this Division I is all about.
And we got a whistle and a timeout to Central Park. 2:17 to go in the first. 20-10 is the lead for Central Park. Back here more in a moment. You're watching the NAC game.
Central Park has unleashed the dogs with a full court press.
So Jalen Smith picks up his first foul, team first. 22-10, the lead for Central Park. As Kevin Watts back into the lineup.
So did you have anything good for breakfast this morning, John?
Well, nothing great. Why, did you have any ideas or something?
No, I just love to hear your stories when you come in and find good.
Well,
actually give me some good ideas here in my own hometown.
I did not this morning. The free throw there off the mark by Ramage. I'll have another one coming. Usually here for breakfast, I just eat something small that I brought with me, or I go shopping and bring something back. I will say there's been a couple of places here that I really enjoy going to. One of them is that barbecue place that you told me about a while back. That's outstanding. Good little wraparound pass underneath here. We got a whistle and a foul down low. And I'll send Jaden Stone to the line.
Dayton continues to grow, and it's events like this and other annual events that continue to give us more restaurants than our population would command.
There are a lot. That's one thing I will say about coming here. There's a ton of restaurants for the size town that this thing is.
So we do have a new one. It's not going to be
another one.
Something, the Steak and Shake.
What?
It's right by Carabelle's. That's right in front of the Sleep Inn.
So 1 on a 2 here for Stone, down to 1:40 to go in the quarter. And a loose ball on the floor, kicked out of bounds, and it will be Central Park basketball.
But I always love to hear the stories about that Chattanooga biscuit restaurant. That
Oh
you
my
go
goodness!
To. I still haven't.
I am a little bit disappointed because I will not be able to go there this year. It's that pass picked off, and the runner won't go. Rebound put back up, no. And again for the third time, no. And finally, Wesley comes away with it. A little double team here in the near court. Trying to swing it off along the baseline. Now out front 3 ball. That's good. Triple for Casey Colquitt. 23-13. Under a minute to go now in the first. Yeah, I think it's called the, we have a whistle and a foul, and it's an illegal screen. Screen will be on Darren Johnson, his first, team second. It's called the Maple Street Biscuit Company, and it is unreal. The line in that place is unbelievable. I don't think I've ever been in there where there hasn't been at least 30 people in line. A little spin move, that's thrown away and runs up, going out of bounds. It will be Central Park basketball. You still never been there?
No, I still haven't.
Maple Street. I'm telling you, Maple Street Biscuit Company, downtown Chattanooga. It's unbelievable. I won't be able to go there this year because of my time schedule, which makes me sad. We got a jump ball, and it will be Central Park basketball. The newer restaurant, is that the newer one? Carabelle's been here a couple of years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I tried that a couple times. If it's the one I'm thinking of, that's a pretty good place.
They have a good chicken and waffles.
That deflected out of bounds. We'll stay with Central Park. Ooh, chicken and waffles, that sounds good.
Oh, yeah, it's good. They actually have a really cool appetizer, pimento cheese sticks. And they are
pimento cheese sticks.
Yep, they're fried, and they're mighty good. Friends, all of these restaurants freaking making you hungry. Come to Dayton, Tennessee.
I'm always hungry. Especially when I'm here, it just seems like I'm always hungry. Down to 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Down the lane, that runner won't go by Kevin Watts, and that will bring us to the end of the quarter. 3-quarter court shot off the mark, and 23-13 is the lead for Central Park at the end of one. We'll take a break, come back with the second quarter in just a moment. You're watching the NACA National Championship Tournament.
It's actually just it's actually just right beside
3 ball on the wing won't go as we start the second quarter. Jumper on the baseline, rattles around it off. And now Central Park comes away with it. Good pass underneath, and the runner won't go there by Dembele. Wesley Christian to bring it back up. Watts swings it over, 3 ball in the corner. That won't go. Deflected out. Central Park with it again, out on the run. Nope, a whistle and a foul call. This will be on Miroslav Tadic. That will be his second. And teammate, the free throw here is good by Jalen Smith. We'll have another one coming. Smith with a pair, now 25-13. Come up the right side, Talbot with it. Try to go out front. Now that pass picked off. In the corner, 3 ball is good. And that triple by Jaden Stone. 28-13, there's another turnover. And that pass almost thrown away and still loose. Picked up underneath and laid up and in by Stone again. And a timeout to Wesley Christian. 30-13 is the lead for Central Park. 6:30 to go in the half. Take a break, come back with more of this Division I matchup in a moment. You're watching the NACA.
Absolutely. Want to thank our sponsors. You can see them there, Trinity Baptist College, Pensacola Christian, Bob Jones University, Bryan College, which consequently is right here, based out of Dayton, some of the finest Christian schools to continue your academic career for a lot. Many of you watching, many of the guys out here playing can continue their athletic career as well, and also continue their walk with the Lord. All these schools, and also Captain U, they help young athletes find that right college, and also 323 Sports, who's the absolutely top of the bar with team apparel and individual apparel. Look out, 323sports.com.
32-15 is the lead here for Central Park. That's in the post. That was blocked. Now come away with it is Wesley on the run, and that pass sails out of bounds, and it will be Central Park basketball. Johnson up into the front court here. Gets the ball back, fires on the free throw line. That banks off no good. Rebound tipped out. Wesley out on the run, down the lane. We got a whistle and a foul called on Josh Jackson. That'll be his first, team third.
So number 2 for the Circuit Riders. He is the big 6'10", you said?
That's what I have, being 6'10". Makes the first.
What year are these guys? Or is he
He is a junior.
He's a junior. What about big 33?
He's a sophomore.
Sophomore. So I thought
that's awfully large. A 7-foot sophomore is unbelievable.
Yeah, he definitely has some room to grow. Definitely has plenty of room to fill out a little bit. But he's, I wouldn't say scrawny. He's.
So watch that foul. Free throws coming up here for Jaden Stone. I think this is one in the bonus here, and he missed the front end. The rebound to Central Park, and back up and in. It goes from Sekou Dembele. 36-16, 4:40 to go in the half, and that pass is thrown away.
I want to take a minute to, just a short minute to zoom in. See the big guy there with the big NACA Sports. That's Hoss Johnson. Former Alabama football player, is the last player that Bear Bryant recruited.
Really?
Yep. Hoss Johnson, certainly. He is with Score International, and they do missionary trips all over the world to bring the gospel through sports. And, of course, Hoss has a focus on football when he comes, and he also takes some big-time college players out to good grief, he's been to China. I don't know. We'll have to get Hoss up here, and he can tell us. There's
the last player that Bear Bryant recruited, huh?
The last player Bear Bryant recruited.
Wow.
I'll tell you a story that Hoss says. I want to get him. I'm actually an Alabama fan. I like to get him to try to tell me some of those old stories. And the only one I can really get out of him is when he first went there on a recruiting trip. Before he was recruited on a recruiting trip, he was in the gym. I'll have to let him tell it, but he saw a man, standing there. Long story short, he mistook, if you can believe it, Paul Bear Bryant as the janitor or custodian in the gym. And either the Bear did not remember that interaction or did not take offense to it because it had no change in the fact that he was recruited by the Bear. Had some big-time games, but, man, he's a lot of fun. Does great work with Score International. May be able to coax that rascal up here and get him to tell us a little bit about what he's been up to with Score International. They're one of our big sponsors, and maybe a little bit of old football stories from back in the day. And he's still a big boy now. He's a little bit deceptive, too. You get standing beside him.
36-19. Wesley trying to mount a little bit of a comeback for the end of the half, and another whistle on a foul call.
So, speaking of Alabama college ball, who do you have your eye on? How about the Fighting Illini in basketball this year? They putting anything together?
No, they haven't. That's been I wouldn't say as big of a train wreck as the football team has, but it's they've been probably 80% of the time they've been competitive this year. But they're missing a few pieces yet. I think they're like 12-15 or something like that.
Little rebuilding year.
It's always, for Illinois, it's always a rebuilding year and everything. There's never really a reloading year. There's a 3-ball that misses, and Central Park will bring it back up. The basketball team, it's getting there. I mean, it's better than it was a year or two ago, but yeah, it's got some room to grow, that's for sure.
For me, it's been a good, really good to see Alabama kind of step it up a little bit and be competitive, at least competitive with other teams. Of course, in the SEC, Kentucky's struggling a little bit. They have a lot of freshmen. One of them, as we mentioned earlier, is a product of this tournament. One of the teams here, the Hamilton Heights Young Alexander. He's going to have some amazing years at Kentucky.
Central Park to bring it up here. And the post it goes. The 12-footer, that's no good. Rebound put back out front, and the floater there is good by Dimitri Rooney. 40-21. That pass almost picked off, now finally is. Down the lane, and a two-hand dunk by Sekou Dembele. 42-21. Sekou went down hard as the layup on the other end of the floor by Brandon Talbot. And we'll see. He went down quick, too. So see what's going on with Sekou. 1:51 to go in the half. 42-23 is the lead for Central Park.
Good to see him get up. He's a little walking a little gingerly. Looks like he's going to be able to walk that off. He is going to go see the nurse.
You know, we were talking about college sports, and Illinois football is like at the lowest point maybe in the history of the program. I mean, it's really, really, really bad. Although I will say they started more freshmen than any team in the country last year. Though I think it was almost 3/4 of their starters were freshmen. So
that is some big-time reloading now.
Maybe there's something going on there. And they're redoing the stadium and the locker rooms. And so maybe it's just one of those things like with the Cubs a few years ago where you just have to sit through some really bad stuff to hopefully get something there. But it's rough having season tickets to that when you're winning 2 games.
I definitely commend you for your loyalty and faithfulness to the program.
It's rough, but I don't know. Hopefully, at some point, it'll turn around.
I know you were cutting it close, getting back after basketball.
Yeah.
You had a game. Who were they playing?
Volleyball. I think it was Wisconsin for homecoming. Okay. And that was like a 10-point game or something. That was a pretty decent game, but it was
it's coming back to me because I did try to keep an eye on that score because I knew my buddy John was getting back to it.
It was freezing that game. There was snow coming down. It was brutal.
Hey, that's very respectable.
Yeah, I think it was 10 or 12 points, something like that. 3-ball on the wing. That won't go. And tracked down by Central Park. In front. Stone with it. So off to Jackson, trying to dump it in the post. That should be a charge.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Baruti will pick up his second foul.
Anytime you lean first with that shoulder to that extent, you can just.
Yeah, even if there is a little bit of acting in there, that's definitely can't lower your shoulder.
curious as to what looks these young men are getting from college coaches around the nation.
Jumper in the lane won't go. Kimbele trapped in the backcourt, and we have a timeout to Central Park. 1 minute. Pretty sure the scoreboard's still running. But, you know, there's that. 43-23, the lead here for Central Park. We'll take a...
And they are going to put
they went back until 107.
Yeah.
We still have, what is it, one more Division I game after this?
We got one more Division I
and
coming
then
up.
I think we've got a break, don't we, after that?
I believe so, but I almost wouldn't
count on it?
Wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't bet the farm on it.
Central Park, by the way, at 21-8 on the year. They were NACA champions in 2010, 2011, and 2014, led by Donovan Broadnay, who is in his 28th year of coaching.
I'm assuming that's Division I.
This pass ahead, and the layup good off a nice look as Jackson finishes. Now 45-23. They've been coming to the NACA tournament for 18 years.
I love it. I love it.
3-ball out front is good.
There's so much more to this tournament than some of the best basketball competition you'll find anywhere in the country. So much more. These young men get to come up here, essentially unplug. You're getting away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, routines. These young men, of course, are finishing up tremendous seasons, a lot of competition. Now they get to come up here to essentially a different altitude up on the mountain, and really get to just take some time to recenter themselves with the Lord and with life.
Well, Sekou Dembele just picked up his second foul and a potential three-point play here, although the free throw missed. 45-28, Central Park, down to 20 seconds to go in the half. 3-ball in the wing, that won't go. This tipped out of bounds, and it will be Wesley basketball. Now, if Wesley can get a bucket here before the half and get it back down to within 15 or so, that's doable for the second half. Off the baseline it comes, back to the middle of the floor. That shot is good. Wow. Okay, 45-30. Down to 3 seconds, 2-1, and that will do it for the half. A nice little run for Wesley to end the half. 45-30 is the lead for Central Park. The first half scoring totals, first off for Wesley Christian. Errol Kunkel with 1 point, 1 of 2 from the line. Cameron Ramage has 3 points, including a three-pointer and 0 for 2 from the line. Kevin Watts with 2 points, 5 for Brandon Talbot, including 1 3. Casey Colquitt has 6 points on 2 3-point field goals, 4 for Gabriel War, and 9 points for number 44, who I do not have in this book at the moment. For Central Park, 4 points for Jalen Smith. He's 4 of 4 from the line, 4 for Josh Jackson. 7 from Dimitri Rooney, including 1 3-point field goal, 2 for Jonathan Baruti, 11 for Sekou Dembele, including 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 15 points for Jaden Stone. He has 2 3-point field goals and is 3 of 7 from the free throw line in the first half. 45-30 is the lead for Central Park here at the half of this NACA tournament game.
All right. So with that, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors. You guys hang with us. Make yourself comfortable. We'll be right back with the second half.
Educating students.
Educating students.
To become servants of Christ. Servants of Christ.
Para llegar a ser servidores de Cristo.
To make a difference in today's world.
Faire une différence dans le monde d'aujourd'hui. Einen Unterschied in der heutigen Welt zu machen.
Fazer uma diferença no mundo de hoje.
تغيير الدنيا داير وزار.
Мы можем изменить сегодняшний мир.
right, we're back with the second half.
Well, and just like that, a missed shot for Central Park leaves the door open for Wesley Christian again, but a whistle and travel out front on Kevin Watts.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to speak to Coach Clemens from Wesley Christian. He told me that we should see a different team in the second half. They've already posted a win over Central Park this season.
Really?
And a win over Hamilton Heights boys team, Oak Hill, and some other teams. So he definitely assures me we haven't seen their best basketball, but now they're looking at a 17-point deficit. They have a lot of wood to chop. Let's see what they can do.
I knew about the Hamilton Heights win, but I did not know about Central Park. You said Oak Hill, too?
Well, he mentioned Oak Hill. I'm not sure if it was this season. He was telling me the team that they play against, but I do know that he said they had a win over Hamilton Heights.
I knew the Hamilton Heights one for sure. And that shot blocked out front. That's what happens when you try to shoot it over the top of a 7-footer. And that ends up rattling around it in.
So they play a lot of top teams in invite-only settings. They actually have a tournament in Athens, Tennessee, which is right across the Tennessee River from us, not too far from here. This weekend, he said, and then next weekend, oh, forgive me. They have another a big time grind tournament, as he called it. Are you familiar with the grind? The
grind.
I'm showing my basketball ignorance here, but he said they're one of the top. They play a lot of grind events.
Okay.
And it's basically invite only,
Sure, right. That makes sense. And we had a whistle and a traveling violation, and go back over to Wesley Christian.
But out of all those events, he said he loves coming up here. Last year, I believe he said was his first year up here. I think this is his first year himself as head coach of the team.
Layup missed there, and now Central Park will bring it back up. By the way, Wesley Christian has players from 7 different countries on that roster. Backdoor alley-oop feed is off the mark. Back the other way comes Wesley on the run. 3-ball on the wing. That's no good from Tadic. And now Central Park will bring it up. Players from Kenya, Nigeria, Cameroon, Germany, the Netherlands, Canada, the Bahamas, and the United States. And not to be outdone, by the way, Central Park, Dimitri Runyoy is from Belarus. Sekou Dembali is from Mali. Jonathan Baruti is from the Congo. Jaden Smith is from Australia. And James Gormley is from Ireland. Speaking of the Olympics.
That's the full gamut.
That's just about everywhere in the world. Down the lane. Layup good on a foul. Wow, what a take to the rim there.
And get a second look at that. Finish.
Fouls on James Gormley. Speaking of Gormley from Ireland. Free throw rattles in and out. 49-32, under 5 minutes to go now in the third quarter. It's basically a couple of international teams here. Reach in foul out front. It'll be on Kevin Watts. It's his second, team first.
Now, we've seen some diverse teams here over the years from around the globe, but for 2 teams, these two could really take the cake.
That's a lot of international players. That's basically what? like 11 or 12 different countries represented on the floor. So a foul on Sekou Dembele. That's his third and team first. As Jonathan Baruti checks in. Off on the wing it comes. 3 ball. That won't go by Tadic. And now Central Park has it back again. Up the near side, Smith got a step. Oh, that was an odd shot. Almost a double clutch off balance jumper. And back the other way on the run. Layup, no. But whistle and a foul on Dimitri Rooney. That's his first, team second. That team third, I guess. And Watts to the free throw line here. First one off the mark, another one coming. By the way, you talked about Wesley Christian playing the schedule that they play. I only have them down as having 3 seniors in that team. It's a young roster. Second free throw off the mark. Smith swings it ahead. Now this laid back out front. Smith again down the lane, kicks it out. Now Smith will fire a 3. That's off the mark. And the rebound to Wesley, and on the run they come. Down the lane, that goes right through the hands of the circuit rider player. There will be Gabriel War. Emmanuel Balagoon picks up his first, team second. So Central Park into the front court. Stone swings it back out front to Smith. Reset here. In front it comes for Stone again. Jaden fires a pull-up 3. That's off the mark. And the rebound down low to War. Kick it out. 3 ball in the corner. That won't go. And Central Park out on the run here. Stone down the lane. Foul and score the bucket. Good take from Jaden Stone. Emmanuel Balagoon will pick up his second foul. Free throw rattles around and in. 52-32. So Wesley really needs a bucket here. They're going to start getting some points if they're going to cut into this 20-point deficit. Balagoon's jumper, that won't go. Rebound tipped out. Picked up in the middle of the paint, put up no. Well, Central Park will bring it up. Down the lane, Stone. We got a whistle and a foul. So Cameron Ramage will pick up the foul. And Brandon Talbot back into the lineup for Wesley. Oh, fun. I don't know where that pass was going to, but it was nowhere near the intended target. Down the lane and a nice little finger roll, little reach around finger roll from Brandon Talbot. 52-34. Top pass down low, broken up. Picked up underneath, thrown up there, no good by Dembele. Down to 2 minutes to go in the third. Corner 3 ball, that's off the mark. And this will carry out of bounds, and it will be Central Park basketball.
Really struggling from the field right now. And these young men, I mean, to hear the coach tell me their schedule, and I can only imagine that Central Park has a similar schedule.
Yeah, probably.
They don't get a lot of breaks, John. I mean, they're hopping from tournament to tournament, getting the most out of this postseason.
Outside 3 ball, that will go from Jackson.
So these teams that play these tournament schedules really hard. How many more games would you say that they had in them under their belt than your regular high school team?
Probably. Well, I know, like in Illinois, if you're an IHSA team, I think you're allowed 18 regular games plus. It's either 17 or 18 plus 1 tournament, and then it goes down, so you can go like 17 and 2 tournaments and 16 and 3 tournaments, something like that. But no one's playing more than 30 games total, ever. And most of them aren't playing more than 25 games. And a lot of these teams, yeah, they'll play by the end of the year 35, 40 games. Well, just these teams right here, Central Park's already played 29 coming into this tournament, so they'll be at 32, 33. Wesley has played 33 games, so they'll be pushing 36. So they'll probably play at least 40 by the end of the year. Most state associations limit you between 20 and 25. Runner in the lane, that won't go, but rebound tipped up and in by Gabriel Ward. 52-36. And that pass sails out of bounds. So we'll be Wesley basketball trailing by 16 with 30 seconds to go in the third. And the pass along the baseline, picked up there by War. 3 on the wing is good. The triple for Brandon Talbot. And it's 52-39. It's down to a 13-point game. 6 seconds to go in the quarter. And that put up and in at the buzzer off the backboard. Good play there by Jaden Stone. And it's a 54-39 lead for Central Park at the end of 3. Take a break, come back with the fourth quarter in a moment. You're watching the NACA tournament. So start of the fourth quarter, 15-point lead for Central Park. Jumping along the baseline is good. That rattles in for Colquitt, and it's 54-41. Well, this game starting to tighten up a little bit in the third. We'll see if it gets closer in the fourth. So Central Park starting to take the air out of the basketball a little bit here. Pull-up 12-footer is good by Dimitri Rooney. (56-41).
The Riders are having to use the full width of the court to beat that press.
On the baseline, just left the middle of the lane, and a foul on Dimitri Rooney. That'll be his second. And the team fourth. To the free throw line goes Gabriel War for 2 shots.
I'm going to send the big sophomore to the line.
First one's off the mark. And War misses a pair. 56-41, under 7 minutes to go. Smith out front, leaves it off for Rooney. And that pass sails out of bounds. So Wesley to play it in.
Central Park press is really, I think, taking its toll. It's really made the difference. You can see them struggling here.
So a timeout here to Wesley. 6:37 to go in the game, 56-41. Central Park back again in just a moment. Three ball in the corner out of the timeout. That rims off no good. Rebound underneath, put back up, no. Still going, and finally cleared out underneath. Taken away by Stone.
You know when you say the ball's just not bouncing their way, it's just really not.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit from the field, that's for sure. Underneath, this laid up and in by Jonathan Baruti. 58-41. Under 6 minutes to go. Now baseline, and we've got a foul before the shot. I didn't even see a foul out there, but oh, all right. So I guess we're going to count the bucket. Jonathan Baruti's going to pick up his third foul. And what that means is they get the points and the ball, I think.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Because I believe he said count the bucket, and the foul must have been on the rebound afterwards, or after the ball went in the air.
They're wanting to talk this over, I believe. Nope.
So it's just a delay of game warning here,
Yeah.
as Dimitri Rooney was stepping over the end line. So just issue a warning, and now Wesley Christian to continue going. Outside three ball, that won't go. Rebound tap back out. Talbot fires and scores. Well, again, Wesley Christian starting to tighten this up a little bit. 58-45. 5:25 to go in the game. And that almost stolen away. Loose out front, and now is thrown away. And this should be Wesley basketball, and it is. And there's still plenty of time for Wesley Christian here, provided they can hit a couple of shots down the stretch. So Watts with it, comes up the right side. And Talbot lost it. Now down the lane, and a two-hand dunk by Jaden Stone. So 60-45.
We're going to take another quick look at this sequence.
And a timeout to Central Park. 4:56 to go in the game, 60-45. Central Park leads. Continue this game here in just a moment.
Now a 15-point lead for Central Park. Inside 5 minutes to go.
So jumper on the wing is way short, and now Central Park once again will take some air out of that ball. Work clock. And we got an over and back violation on Dimitri Rooney. Here comes far side. Harvey now swings it back over to Talbot down the lane. Good pass underneath, and reverse layup is good by Gabriel War. It's 60-47 on the 4:20 to go. Stone into the front court, swings it back out front to Smith. Hold it there to Stone. Now the wing again for Smith. Try to work back near side. We have three. That won't go. But we have a whistle and a foul called on Kevin Watts. That's his third foul. Under 4 minutes to go now. On the wing, working baseline. Pass back in the middle, deflected and stolen away. Outlet feed to Watts. Down the lane, and he'll lay it in with the right hand. And that deflects out of bounds. (60-49).
You can see the Riders have tightened their press up a little bit.
Yeah, we got a whistle and a travel on Rooney. And just like that, Wesley could get it back down to single digits with 3:30 left. Well, they've gotten points when they've needed to get them, and they're slowly reeling it in a little bit. To continue on this pace, they'll be right back in it relatively quickly. And we got a whistle and a foul on Jaden Stone. That's his first and team sixth. Three ball on the wing. That's good. Triple by Brandon Talbot. And it's now a 60-52 game with 3:18 left. And you can feel it starting to slip away a little bit from Central Park. Up ahead it comes to Stone. Pulls up in the front court and back out front to Smith. Smith down the lane. Good pass underneath. Shot blocked, picked up, and then missed by Baruti. And stolen away. Good play on the hustle defense by Dembele. And Central Park will reset again. Stone down the lane, left it off along the baseline. Turnaround won't go. Rebound cleared out underneath by Kukul, and back the other way comes Talbot down the lane and lays it in. Brandon Talbot with the bucket. It's now 60-54. And looks like Gabriel War is injured in the middle of the lane.
It's the big 7-foot sophomore from?
I don't know. My guess is Kenya, Nigeria, Cameroon, or the Bahamas. I think it's one of those African countries.
Looks like he's going to be able to walk this one off, which is definitely a good.
I do have specific countries for Central Park for each player, but I just have a general list for Wesley.
Six-point game.
I'm telling you, and as much time is left, and as quickly as this has evaporated, you could see Wesley Christian up by 5 or 10 by the time the game is over, as fast as they're scoring now. Central Park's got to find a way to get some points somewhere along the line here.
Yeah, there's definitely a chess match going on between these two coaches.
Stone gets the inbounds pass. Pressured in the backcourt, now flips it ahead to Smith. Good pass underneath. We got a whistle. And foul somewhere down low. Harold Kunkel with his second. And team seventh. So one in the bonus here for Jonathan Baruti. And he missed the front end. Back the other way comes Wesley. Talbot on the wing for three. Good again! My goodness!
Wow.
Wesley is on fire. Brandon Talbot has knocked down some threes. And again, off a made shot, another foul in Central Park. This one will be on Sekou Dembele. That's his fourth. And now it's 60-57. And not only that, a chance to add just could be a 5-point play.
A 5-point play?
Could very well be a 5-point play if he makes the front end of the bonus. And he does, and they'll get another free throw. This could end up being a 5-point possession, and it would be 60-59. Instead, it's a 4-point possession. Rebound tipped out. Central Park up by 2 now with 2:10 left. And boy, has this lead just completely disappeared. 3 ball in the corner. Nope, that would have been a big shot. Batted around. Good rebound there for Central Park, though, by Jaden Stone. Under 2 minutes to go now. Smith off the right side. We got a whistle and a reach-in foul, and that's a good call. Really no need to foul that far out. Talbot with his first. And team 8th. So 1 in the bonus here. And he missed the free throw. Boy, it's just falling apart for Central Park. Back the other way, and Talbot's layup wouldn't go. Rattles in and out. Back the other way, down the lane. That runner's no good. Rebound put back up and in by Jonathan Baruti. Good hustle by Jonathan. Finally, Central Park finds some points. And that pass picked off. In the middle, almost thrown away, and is. Now Wesley Christian brings it back up. 4-point game, 1:15 left. Watts out front, off on the wing, 3 ball. That's good. Triple for Ahmad Harvey. And it's a 1-point game again, 62-61. Under a minute to go now. Up the near side, Stone with it, double teamed here. Trying to work baseline, and we have an illegal screen on Jonathan Baruti. That's his 4th. And with 51 seconds left, Wesley Christian has a chance to take the lead. A couple of substitutions here for the Circuit Riders. So down to 50 seconds to go. Wesley bringing it up. Trailing by 1 here. Up front it goes. Talbot for 3. Nope, that's going to bank off, no good. And the rebound taken back out. Down to 30 seconds left, and there's a foul on the dive play by Watts. That's his 4th. Team 9th, so 1 in the bonus here for Jalen Smith.
So while they're clearing off this floor, hey, take a peek over here. Look at 2 of these big time threes from the Riders to cut this lead back.
Well, Talbot hit 1, and then this 3 on the left-hand side by Ahmad Harvey. And boy, what a couple of huge shots. And now for Central Park, if you can get a couple of free throws here, it'll help you out a little bit. And he misses a free throw. And once again, door left open, and timeout to Wesley Christian. 29 seconds left. And it will be a full timeout, 62-61. Central Park back with more of this Division I game in just a moment. You're watching the NACA tournament.
All right, welcome back for the final half minute for what has been the best basketball we've seen thus far.
Well, Wesley to play it in against full court pressure, down by 1 with 29 seconds left. And it comes up into the front court now. Runner, no. On a whistle and a foul down low. Jonathan Baruti, that is his 5th foul, so he is done. And to the free throw line for Wesley goes Cameron Ramage. So Ramage with the free throw. That rattles around it off.
Teammates are telling him, just settle down, you got this.
Cameron 0 for 3 from the free throw line today. Now 0 for 4, and the rebound. We have a pushing foul on the rebound. So the foul is on Dimitri Rooney. That's his 3rd. And now 2 shots coming up for Wesley. And the first one's good. So we're back to a tie game with 21 seconds remaining. And the second one off the mark. So here comes Central Park into the front court. Down the lane, Rooney misses the layup, but tipped up and in underneath, and we got a whistle and a timeout. So Jalen Smith with a nice job of following that up with a rebound tap back in. 64-62 with 9.5 seconds left.
Wow.
We've seen a couple of pretty good game. The game before this,
It was good.
went down to the buzzer. This one's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, the last one had an amazing finish. I mean,
Yeah, the turnover in the backcourt and then a layup at the last second. Well, this is what I'm envisioning in my head. Bring the ball up the floor, get the ball in the paint, kick it back out to Talbot for a 3, win this thing, and run off the court.
That sounds like a good plan for the Riders.
But then again, that's really, really ambitious instead of just getting the tie and going to overtime. But I have nothing invested in this game. So
No,
the way he's been shooting the ball from three-point range, if you can get him a good look, I would take my chances with that as much as anything, I do believe. But we'll see here. They're going to put a couple of seconds back on the clock, 11.2 remaining. 64-62, the lead for Central Park. Here in the Division I tournament. Up it comes, Talbot on the wing, kicks it underneath, and it's stolen away. Down the 3 seconds, 2-1, and that is going to do it. They cannot get the foul, and Central Park hangs on 64-62 off the late turnover by Wesley Christian, and Central Park advances. Wow, what a comeback by Wesley, but they just couldn't quite complete it all the way.
What a game.
A moment here to finish out your totals. First off for Wesley Christian, 1 point for Aaron Kukul, 1 of 2 for the free throw line. 3 points for Cameron Ramage, he was 0 for 4 from the line. 4 points for Kevin Watts, 0 for 2 from the stripe. 8 for Casey Colquitt, including 2 threes. 8 for Gabriel Ward, he was 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Ahmad Harvey with 1 3-point field goal. 11 points for Emmanuel Balagoon, including 1 of 3 from the free throw line. 22 for Brandon Talbot. He had 4 3-point field goals in that game. For Central Park, 6 points for Jalen Smith. He was 4 of 6 in the free throw line. 4 points for Josh Jackson. 9 for Dimitri Rooney, including 1 3. 8 points for Jonathan Baruti. He was 0 for 2 from the line. 11 points for Sekou Dembele. He was 1 of 2 from the stripe. 22 points for Jaden Stone on 2 3-point field goals. He was 4 of 8 from the free throw line. So that will wrap up what is another interesting game. We've had 2 back-to-back games between Division I opponents that have gone down to the wire, and that one, good comeback from Wesley, but they couldn't quite get all the way back. So Central Park will hang on. We have, I think, one more in our day session here, Our Savior New American, and I completely forgot who the other team is. Let me take a quick look here before we wrap this thing up. And Word of God. So Our Saviors and Word of God will be coming up next.
Good to see Our Savior back. I believe it's going to be the first time I've had a chance to see the Word of God program. Looking forward to that. We did have a comment on our YouTube feed. One was a question. Sorry for the late. We've been too dug into this game to be able to check these comments. But one person said, "What number is Jonathan Baruti for Central Park?" And while he's finding,
let's see, it was 25 as far as I know.
Jonathan Baruti is number 25 for Central Park. Big.
Yep, he ended up falling out of that game toward the end of it.
Big time for Central Park in that game. Louisiana Christian School Sports also commented in and said, Bimbo's Restaurant is good also in Dayton. And it is. It's right across the street from Momo's Barbecue. So, yes, indeed.
All right.
Bimbo's is good. I'm good friends with Bimbo. He's a good man.
Well, we'll take a break. We'll come back with Word of God and Our Savior here in, well, not very long. 6 minutes on that clock. Back here in just a few minutes. You're watching the NACA.